Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, I did this right. Okay. So, won't be with you long. Sound like a church service, right? I won't be before you long. I hope you are all well this evening. Just finishing up a few sessions for the night. And, just thought I would share a few pointers and a few aha moments that I have and I had as a therapist working with some of my clients. Now, of course, this is all going to be HIPAA compliant because I'm not going to tell you who they are and their circumstances and all of that. Um, However, if you want to get some details or you want a one on one quick convo, not a therapy session, but probably just a little inkling about something, or should you talk to someone, feel free to leave me a comment in the chat and I will do my best to get back with you. Um, Having a lot of conversations lately about grief. First and foremost, hi, I'm Melissa. How you doing? If I don't know you or have never met you, or you have no clue who I am a therapist, a licensed therapist of mental health, have been for several years. I'm also a school counselor. I'm a worship leader, mom, minister of the gospel, all the good things. All the accolades. You can add those later. But ultimately, while I was working with a few clients this week, the conversation and topic of grief came up repeatedly. There's been so much loss over the past several years, past several months, and a few things that really struck me really is number one, that we don't always know how to grow or how to move forward from a loss. Sometimes, especially as people of faith and Christians, sometimes we really don't know what to say or what to do other than, of course, pray. And we're told to pray, and you should pray. But sometimes we really don't know what to pray. And of course, you have little mama popping up here. You wave. Mm-hmm. A trip. Always, always, every time. This is why.
I'm always in the video.
Yes, you're always on the video. This is why nothing gets done. Because if you are a parent, they just know how to pop up when you're trying to do something of great importance. Can I help you? Goodbye.
What?
Yes. Hey, yes, goodbye. You're interrupting my video. Anywho, but as you're talking about loss and grief, one of the main things that kept coming up is how to, ma'am, I am trying to do something here. I need you to go back over there. I will get you in a moment. Goodbye.
Everybody.
Yes, thank you for saying hi. Wave to everybody. Wave. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Yep, go that way. Goodbye. I tell you. Anyways, that's gonna be a whole nother video about being a parent and how to still get stuff done. I'm still working on that. Y'all pray for me. So, as I was saying, going through grief, going through loss. One of my clients shared that it has been over a year of losing someone significant. And when I asked, what they would say to themselves then, what they know now, what would they say? And the response was that number one, encouragement that you will get through that loss, that it's not going to last forever, that it's not going to be the final straw that breaks you. And often with loss, we feel in that moment that it is the worst thing that could ever happen. You lost the job or you were let go and of no fault of your own. And after pouring into that particular location, giving it your all, someone said that you're no longer needed. You're no longer necessary. How broken do you feel after something like that? Or after losing a loved one? And maybe even have questions about why. Why now? Why them? Why couldn't they be the ones that were healed? Why didn't God touch their body? They touched somebody else and they healed them. Why was it my spouse? Why was it my child? Why was it, my loved one that didn't make it through? And then sometimes we're told, don't ask why. What do you mean, don't ask why? I have questions. I'm human. Things aren't adding up. And so, in talking with some of my clients, that's also came up about truly sitting sometimes and asking those hard questions, asking those deep questions, and trying to process them. Some of them they were able to process on their own, some of them they needed some help, they needed some support. And sometimes we, especially as people of faith, we don't want to ask for help. We do pray, yes, and again, we should by all means pray about everything, but give room for God to also give you instructions about how to get that help, who to talk to. Maybe it's your leadership, maybe it's a professional, maybe it's someone else that has gone through and is on the other side of through. But either way, sometimes we don't take that time to really try to understand the emotions that we're feeling. We don't take the time to process the pain because we don't want to feel pain. We don't want to endure the pain. I'll put it that way. Another thing that came up was the conversation or the thought of, as children, we are encouraging them to grow. If you have children or you work with children, you have a niece, you have a nephew, right? If they were learning their ABCs, you want them to continue learning their ABCs until they master it, right? But then you want to put those letters to words. And once they master those words, you want them to put those words to sentences. And so we are expecting them to always grow and move forward. And if they're not growing and if they're not moving forward, then there's a problem, right? We get them some help. We get them a tutor. We try to figure out what's going on. Why are they not learning at the pace that they should be learning? And so that is an expectation for a child all the way through high school, maybe even college. Yet somehow magically we get to being an adult. And then we stop. I wonder why. We stop pushing ourselves sometimes, not all the time, to grow. We stop pushing ourselves to learning something new. We stop going forward because as an adult, either we have found ourselves in a career that we think this is it, we're great, we're good, we don't need to do anything else, we don't need to go anywhere else, we don't do nothing. Or we find ourselves in a place of probably feeling stuck and not really sure what to do because we've done all the things. Maybe you've gone on and done the degrees and the certifications and the programs and all of that. And it's like, now what else do I do? Is there anything else for me to do? Or you may be a parent, a stay at home parent, and you don't feel like, there is anything that you can do because your hands are tied and you're constantly doing things with your children. But at the end of the day, if we are expecting children to grow and move forward from level to level, then we should be doing the same as adults. And especially when it comes to grief and loss. Sometimes we do feel stuck. Sometimes we don't know how to move forward. But if we stay there for too long, then it can become a problem. If you stay in that vein and in that place too long, then it can become a hindrance to the other areas of your life. And then it becomes draining. And you're trying to figure out, how do I even get up out of bed? How do I even have a conversation? Why do I even need to bother putting on clothes? Why do I need to eat? What's the point? Now we're entering into another zone. Now we're entering into anxiety and depression. And depending on what else may be going on in that moment, that could lead to other things. And so through our conversations that we have been having, I just, wanted to share two things. Number one, if you find yourself in a space as it pertains to grief and loss, where you are at that point where you just don't see the point in doing anything, maybe, you are getting up out of bed, but barely. Maybe you're able to make it through the day, but then you get home and you feel beyond exhausted because you put on the facade all day and you are drained. If you find yourself stuck in that place of grief and loss, I'm highly, highly encouraging you to reach out and speak with someone. May it be a pastor, may it be a friend, may it be a coworker, maybe a family member. Ultimately, you need to speak with someone because at the end of the day, you're now in a space where you truly need some support. And it's okay. Another thing we talked about is that often, especially as women, no offense, men, you too, actually, we put on the cape, right? The red cape, da 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 da, here I am to save the day, Superman, Superwoman, whoever. And we ultimately are just going along, trying to do all the things, and we're not making progress. You don't always have to put on that cape. You don't always have to be Superman or Superwoman. Sometimes you need to take a pause, which is my point number two. Sometimes you need to take that pause and take a really hard look at what you need as an individual in order to be your best self. So, if you find yourself in a rut, you find yourself in a space where you need help or support, please reach out. Don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer on your own. It's not worth it. It's truly not worth it. If you are finding it hard to just go day to day, or you're just going through the motions, I am almost begging you to please speak with someone. And also be open to have that conversation. Sometimes we don't want to be vulnerable because we don't want to be judged, because if it seems like I have questions or if it seems like I'm in pain and I'm hurting, does that mean I'm not trusting God enough? Does that mean I don't have enough faith? Does that mean I'm not praying hard enough? Am I not quoting enough scriptures? Am I not putting up enough scriptures around my house and declaring the word of the Lord? No, not at all. The word also tells you to get wise counsel. And sometimes wise counsel comes in different forms. If anything, pray about how to get that counsel and how to be able to move forward. So I hope that in some way, shape, or form, this helps to give you just a little help or a little nudge of what to do if you're finding yourself in a space, especially when it as it pertains to grief and loss, that you just have some questions. Feel free to send me a message, shoot me a message in the chat, and hopefully I can direct you or get you to someone that can help you and support you. Because at the end of the day, we are in this together, and I personally don't want anyone to be suffering in silence. As we see, neither does she. You can't even be serious. Like, trying to be serious here. And here she comes, right? Thank you very much. Yes. I guess for anyone that needed to know or needs a little pick me up, she's here just for that. Can you wave? Can you wave? You're not going to wave? No. Okay. Well, you all have a wonderful evening. I pray that you're blessed. Oh, there's the wave. If you, again, know anyone that is in need of support, or you yourself are in need of support, or you just have questions, please feel free to reach out. This is not the time to stay by yourself. This is not the time to be secluded. This is truly the time to reach out because there's so much going on and there is help out there. And we want to do our best and do our part. to help everyone that does reach out. Yes, ma'am.
What's this?
Okay. Can you say good night?
Good night. Good night, everybody.
That's right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll do a duet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah.
We'll do it together next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, have a great night, y'all. And I'll see you soon.
Yeah. See you soon. See you soon, everybody.